Hey guys, welcome back to Snorkel. Good way to kick us off there, Johnny. We're doing a review for War for the Planet of the Apes.
Don't fuck it up.
Don't fuck it up.
Show some respect.
Show some respect. Ooh, what a movie. This is obviously the third film in the Apes
trilogy.
New trilogy, if you will, telling the story of Caesar and his life.
Yeah, literally from birth, basically.
Yeah, pretty much from birth until this movie.
Yeah, like 17 years in total, I think, something like that.
Oh man, and God, this movie has an impact on you when you see it.
Oh my gosh. Basically, if you don't know the premise of this, Caesar basically is in the middle of this war that has been going on since the end of the last movie. As if you know what happened in the last movie, you understand why. And he goes on a mission to take out the colonel, this ruthless military leader, played by Woody Harrelson. And that's pretty much all I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna spoil anything for you guys, as we usually don't. But
I do think they do a good job of, in general in the movie. Obviously, we're gonna get to that, but to really show the desperation of the humans and what they're going through, and you're kind of there's a couple different scenes where you're just like,
how does that happen?
Sorry. Where you're just like, oh, I hate the humans in this movie, but I kind of see where they're coming from. But at the same time,
I agree. They've actually done a great job in all the movies showing both sides.
Yeah.
Even Woody Harrelson in this movie, Koba in the last movie, Gary Oldman's character in the last movie, they want to take out the apes pretty much, or the humans in Koba's case. But you see why they are the way they are, and that's they do such a good job with that. And
if you have an imagination and you put yourself, if that literally happened in our world today, it would first of all be scary as hell, and secondly, people would get desperate, and there would be some horrible things that happen.
Yeah, I mean, it really makes you ask, what would you do?
Yeah,
if everything was on the line.
And Woody Harrelson's character actually laid that out in one scene, and I was like, I kind of see where he's coming from, but I also see where Caesar's coming from. So you're just
and you love Caesar, so that's a great job that Matt Reeves and the writers do with pitting these forces together, and the conflicts are always really interesting. But what did you think of Andy Serkis in the role of Caesar again, and just the rest of the cast in general?
I remember seeing The Fellowship of the Ring years ago.
Oh man, that's crazy.
Almost 20 years ago. I had no idea that Andy Serkis was going to be a part of my movie watching experience for
all those years.
For years to come, literally 2 decades. Man, he is just so good. He is Caesar, and there's been so much talk of is this movie and his performance and really the whole movie in general, everything, the directing, everything. Mm-hmm. Is this going to bring legitimacy to that type of
motion capture
performance,
basically?
And if he isn't nominated, it's a fucking joke.
I totally agree. Oh my god, this performance is the best of the year so far, and with any other year, against any normal performance, this would be up there without question.
Yeah, and I can see that I already know how the Academy is. They're fucking idiots a lot of times.
I mean, there's momentum though. I've seen online and with people in the industry and people that actually vote and are members of the Academy and stuff. So hopefully, even if it's not this year, hopefully something gets done, or they have some sort of special award just for Andy Serkis, because this guy deserves a fucking Oscar.
He deserves legitimately a Lifetime Achievement Award for the stuff that he's done for the film industry,
as a whole. Yeah.
Let alone the performances. He's fucking Gollum and Caesar.
And not only does Andy Serkis, obviously he has played these iconic roles and he's famous for that and he's amazing at it, but he's opened the doors for so many of these other things. These movies maybe don't even happen without him pioneering this technology, because not only is he an actor, but he's basically helps produce this stuff. He works alongside the people that do the motion capture and they develop the characters. So it's just insane. But what did you think of the supporting? I mean, Maurice has been in all these movies, Rocket, and then some of the newer characters like Bad Ape.
Bad Ape is hilarious when you guys see the movie. If you haven't already, it's really good. You said it was Steve Zahn?
Yeah, Steve Zahn. He's a great comedic relief kind of character. But he has, when you first meet him, you kind of get to know why is he doing what he's doing, what's going on inside his head, and they do a great job with that.
Yeah, and just the other apes and some of the characters, you're just I wasn't too sure what was going on with them at times, but then it had a payoff at the end. It wasn't a perfect movie by any means, but I think Matt Reeves, the director, did a really good job. Obviously, you said he directed Cloverfield, which is one of my favorite movies ever. And he's doing The Batman, which we think it's going to be called The Batman, obviously, is his next movie. he's a very, very talented guy. I mean, do you have anything else to say about him? I mean, he's top notch.
I mean, the movie's directed to fucking perfection. I honestly I'm shocked that they let him make this movie. His vision is just, it's so different from every other blockbuster. I mean, compare this to a fucking Spider-Man that we just saw. Spider-Man's great, obviously. We loved it. But, I mean, it's not even fucking close. I mean, really, to me, this is like one of the best blockbusters of the decade as far as just overall quality goes.
Yeah, I mean, we're raving about it, obviously, for a reason. It does a great job of showing, like, the desperation in war, the desperation in, you know, slavery, imprisonment, whatever you want to call it. Oh, man.
Yeah, I agree. It's like a Leone Western combined with, like, a biblical epic kind of movie in one way, and then there's this, obviously, like, prison aspect of it, and the wars going on. It's a bunch of shit, like, put together, basically. You can tell that the people that made this know their film history and stuff like that, so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and, man.
The VFX, oh my fucking god. We could talk about that all day, but.
At the end of the movie, there's just this payoff where it's just like, I can't even, like, describe it. It's just like, whew,
yeah.
That was a freaking movie, dude. Like,
yeah.
And it was just wiped away, like, in a certain way, and it was just like, that really happens. Like, holy crap.
That fucking happened right there.
Yeah.
God, this movie, just a quick warning, this movie is fucking dark.
Yeah, it's pretty dark, yeah.
I mean, for a PG-13 movie, if the apes in this movie were humans, this would be rated R, no question.
Yeah. I mean, they did a good job, like I said, of showing, like, the desperation in people and really what can happen to people in bad ways. Overall, I know we can ramp it up. Is there anything that you didn't like? Like I said, there was a couple of instances where I was like, I don't really know if that works 100%, but it kind of pays off in certain ways.
This is actually the second time I've seen it. This is Thursday today. But I went to the triple feature thing that they were doing on Wednesday night, so I definitely have a more, like, grounded, like, reaction because now I've seen it, 2 full times. It was better the second time, and I loved it the first time. It just, because I think one of the problems I had with it the first time was it took me by surprise. Like, it's not what you kind of expect it to be.
Yeah. Not to get off on a tangent, but it really is. Like, the way they did the promotion in this, and then you go in, I could see how people might feel misled in the advertising for this, but it's not a bad thing. Like, for us, we like it as film goers, but some people I can see would be like, oh, I'm ready for the certain type of movie.
Yeah.
And it starts off like that, but then it's not like that.
To be fair, would people go see this if they knew what it was, honestly? Probably not.
Not as many people.
Not as many people.
But I think they'll walk out pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, I think they will. I think the people in our theater really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And I think they were surprised by the way it went. But yeah, I totally agree. I think the second time, because I knew what to expect, and I realized just how dark it was going to be, how brutal it was going to be, and what kind of, like, the pacing, the story and whatnot, it was better to me. And it just, all the, like, little perfections, like, came through, like, even more. So.
Since you've seen it twice already, your opinion is a little bit better than mine, probably.
Yeah, because I actually, when I got out of the theater last night, for 2 hours, I was just like, I drove home, I was in my house, I was sitting there, and I was just thinking about it, and I wasn't really sure how I felt, honestly. But I just kept thinking about it. I was talking to some of my friends that went to the triple feature online, and then seeing it again, I've just been thinking about it for like 24 hours now. Yeah, I definitely.
What is your score out of 10?
Out of 10. This is my first 10 out of 10 of the year.
Whoa.
This is a fucking masterpiece, especially by blockbuster standards. There's nothing else like this, like in the past couple of years, I would say.
I think it's kind of tough for us to review movies. It's good that you've seen it twice. You have a better opinion than I do. It's tough for us to review it like night of or the next day even. You really have to let movies sink in for a couple months really to get a full grasp of what it is.
Yeah. That's actually one thing I don't like about film critics in general, like Rotten Tomatoes culture and all that aside. They see it and then they have to go write about it. You know what I mean? A lot of times. But so it's hard because opinions change just in 24 hours and shit like that. So.
Yeah. So like I said, going forward, I might change my score. I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. But overall, it does have the potential to be a 10 out of 10. Once I like see it again in a couple months, probably think about it a little bit more. There's no glaring issues with it. And
yeah.
The beats do hit throughout the movie.
And that was really like you just said, that was one of the things I was really thinking about last night when I was trying to think what I was going to give it, especially for tonight's like review. I was just like, there's nothing that I thought was wrong with this thing. I've seen Baby Driver, I've seen Logan, Wonder Woman, Spider-Man, Get Out, blah, 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 this entire year. This movie, it's fucking insane, I gotta say.
Thank you guys for watching. We do have Comic-Con coming up in just about a week here, a week and a half or so. It's coming up super quick. We're gonna have tons of coverage for that. Also, we have different videos coming out the next week as well that are unrelated to Comic-Con. Thank you guys. Please go support this movie. Matt Reeves and Andy Serkis alone deserve it, especially Andy Serkis. What a movie!
And before we go, I'm gonna raffle off some fucking names here that deserve recognition. Terry Notary played Rocket in the movie. Karen Conoval played Maurice in the movie. Mark Bomback helped write the script. The people at Wet It Digital did all the VFX for the entire fucking trilogy. Amaya Miller played the little girl. She was amazing. We already talked about Steve Zahn.
Woody Harrelson.
Woody Harrelson was a great villain. And I'm so pleased with people at Fox for like making this shit happen.
Yeah, it's a good movie. Oh.
And the trilogy as a whole.
The last thing before we go, if you had one word to describe this film, one word only.
Masterpiece.
Masterpiece. Oh, I'm gonna say I was torn between two words. I'm gonna give 2 words.
2 words. He's breaking his own rule.
What? Yeah, one is. I'm just gonna say Oasis. I had another one, but I'm gonna say Oasis, and you'll see why.
That's an interesting. I know why you're choosing it,
but you're gonna see why, and it pays off, and it's a beautiful, beautiful moment. So thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe and like our video and comment about the new Planet of the Apes film.